Okay, solve by quadratic formula. So just a reminder, negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2a. Okay, and then remember, I always set it up as what I called the skeleton. So that is what I use to plug in. So knowing that, I'm going to build my skeleton. So here A is 5, B equals negative 8, C equals 4. So B is negative 8, A is 5, 5, and C is 4. And we simplify the three different pieces. So double negative becomes positive. 2 times 5 is 10. And then I type just the inside of the house without the house. So watch. I'm not typing my radical. I'm typing negative 8 squared minus 4 times 5 times 4. And I get negative 16. So this is why it's important not to type the house, because if you type the house, you'd have to start over without the house. Well, I know it's negative, so I have to take out, make it positive and put an I. I'm also going to separate, so 8 over 10 plus or minus, and that gives me 4i over 10. Well, both of these simplify. Use your calculator if you need to. Alpha y equals enter, 8 over 10 gives me 4 over 5, and then alpha y equals enter, 4 over 10 gives me 2 over 5. So 4 and so then I can rewrite it together. 4 plus or minus 2i over 5. So 4 minus 2i over 5. 4 plus 2i over 5. You could have also left it separated like this, and that would be exactly the same thing. So now let's look at 47. Negative b plus or minus. So a is 1, b is 8, c is negative 11. Well, negative 8 is just negative 8 plus or minus. 2 times 1 is 2, and type just what's under the house. So 8 squared minus 4 times 1 times negative 11. That equals 108. Now 108 is not a perfect square, but I do have to simplify it, so I'm going to go ahead and separate. Negative 8 over 2 plus or minus something over 2. So 108 is 2 and 54, is 2 and 27, is 3 and 9, 3 and 3. So 2 times 3 is 6 over, leftovers is 3. And that gives me negative 4, because negative 8 divided by 2, plus or minus 6 divided by 2 is 3 root 3. So negative 4 minus 3 root 3, negative 4 plus 3 root 3. Now let's look at the word problem. It says if a toy rocket is launched vertically upwards from the ground level, I'm going to go ahead and build my skeleton. Okay, velocity of 128 feet per second, which is already in there. Then its height after t is given by this equation when the rocket is 200 feet high. So we want to know when 200, because h is feet, equals negative 16t squared plus 128t. So I need to make it equal 0 first. So minus 200. Minus 200. Now it equals 0 and I can plug it in. So A is negative 16. B is a positive 128. And C is negative 200. So that gives me negative 128 plus or minus 2 times negative 16 is negative 32. The square root of something. 3584. And now because it's a word problem, I don't need to simplify that. I'm going to type it in my calculator. Once with a plus, once with a minus. So I get negative 128 plus the square root of 3584 over negative 32. a second enter, and I can change that plus to a minus. And I get a 2 point, and it doesn't tell me what to round to, so I'm just going to round it to the 10th, so 2.1 and 5.9. 2.1 and 5.9, and this is seconds.